Hey, I want to share with you the exact email marketing strategy that helped my client drive multiple millions of dollars in email marketing revenue. As you can see here, this was $1.2 million in email marketing revenue within a 4-month time frame. And this right here is $4.7 million within 1 year. My name is Zach Schieffer, and I'm the founder of ZHS Ecom, an agency that's helped drive more than a dozen D2C brands, help them add 50K or more to their monthly revenue by leveraging email and SMS, newsletters, and automations. So for context, this video is for anyone who is currently running email and SMS marketing for a D2C ecom brand. Most of our clients use Klaviyo as the ESP. However, these lessons are going to apply to any email software you're using. So in this video, we're going to cover the 3 strategies that helped our clients drive multiple millions of dollars in email marketing revenue. So number 1, getting people onto the list with website forms and a site pop-up. Number 2, converting new email list subscribers into first-time buyers with the welcome series and abandonment emails. And then 3 is converting buyers into VIPs with the post-purchase flows and email campaigns. So let's dive in, getting people onto the list in the first place. Very important, because if people are not getting from the site onto your list, the rest of your email marketing doesn't matter. That's why we start with email list growth. So first, with the website, we don't want to give the discount code away on the website. Instead, you want to give it away within your email marketing. So you want to make sure people have to actually sign up to the list in order to get the discount. Number 2, optimize your site footer form. So make sure it takes up the full width of the site. Make sure it's super obvious, and make sure it mentions your intro offer. Here's a great example of how that would work. And then number 3, nail the basics. Our client did all of these at a 10 out of 10 level. They absolutely crushed it with everything on their site, including the website speed, CRO, and copy and design. You want to make sure that your website is really on point. It's helping to educate the customer while providing social proof. You want to make sure CRO and website speed, both those directly correlate to more sales and better, improved list sign-up rates. Just because the site is never going to be the bottleneck for email marketing, you want to make sure that wherever you're sending your emails to, that is converting at the absolute maximum level, since that's the whole goal of email marketing, is to essentially drive people from the email list, from their inbox to the website. You want to make sure it converts well. So with the pop-up, 7 major steps that'll help you hit $1 million in email marketing revenue. Number 1 is having a great offer. So better the offer is, the better the conversions. It's very simple. The goal is to find out which offer converts best. Typically, percentage off, dollar amount off, those are your top 2 ones. A free giveaway, I wouldn't recommend, just because the list quality is typically going to be some sort of issue there. You're not going to get the greatest people, and people are not going to always want to sign up and actually make a purchase. They might just want to sign up and get something for free. In terms of design, we want to keep the pop-up simple, and you want to have less friction, because the more friction you have, the more data you get, but also it's going to lower your conversion. So it's simply a trade-off that you should be aware of. Copy here, you want to essentially tell people like what's in it for them. You want to make sure your offer is big and bold as possible, so you absolutely cannot miss it. Here's an example of a few mobile pop-ups that do this really, really well. You can clearly see the offer in each of these, and you absolutely can't miss it. Then you want to separate your mobile versus desktop forms. You don't want to have a mobile and desktop form. You want to split it up. So for desktop only, you want the pop-up style to be regular or full screen. And then SMS, you're going to just enter in your phone number as normal. The difference with mobile only is that typically a full screen works better. So this is an example of a full screen. Typically, you can't use exit intent. Depending on your software, you can't use exit intent, or you can, but typically you can't use exit intent on mobile. And then for SMS, there's going to be a different way to sign up. So you either do smart opt-in or tap to text. Micro yes step, I would definitely recommend it. It's basically a micro commitment that gets users in the habit of saying yes. Basically, just add the step, test it out. It increases conversion rates. All it is a question here. Are you interested in this offer? Yes or no. And you have 2 buttons here. And you literally add a step to your pop-up. And then you want to turn the double opt-in off. You're going to see a lot of people that drop off because of this. So that's basically this confirmation screen that confirms your subscription. Turn that off within your settings. And then iterative split testing. How this works is You want to test 5 to 10 variations at the start, find 1 or 2 winners, make variations of those winners, and then repeat. And while you're doing this, you only want to change one thing at a time, so you know if you have 2 split tests, like what actually made the difference. You want to make sure the variables are big enough to actually make a difference, of course. So for example, testing a 6 versus 7 second delay, that's not going to be that much of a difference. You're probably not going to get very statistically significant results from that. Doesn't matter too much. Test 6 versus 12 seconds. That's a lot bigger of a gap. So how this works is basically you create 5 to 10 variations. If you're testing 2 different offers, you can have, for example, on the left here, dollar amount off versus percentage off. Test those 1 or 2 different offers. And then for each of those offers, you have 5 different targeting styles. So like I said, you could test 6-second delay, 12-second delay. You're testing the trigger here, or the targeting. And then 25% page scroll, 50% page scroll. Again, those are like big differences. And then second page view. That's an example of what we would start out with. Find 1 or 2 winners. And then from those 1 or 2 winners, you place those as the control for your next set of split tests. And then you have 4 different variations. And for each of these variations, you're only changing one thing at a time. And then again, you find 1 to 2 winners from there, and you continually iterate. So you can see your conversion rate is going to drive up over time, and you kind of repeat until you continually find, until you just can't beat your control. All right, converting new email list subscribers into first-time buyers. So now that you've gotten people onto your list with your list growth tactics, it's time to focus on your core pre-purchase flows, including welcome flow, site, browse, cart, and checkout abandonment. So with the welcome series, this is how we structure it. We have email 1 is just going to be a brand intro and welcome discount. Email 2 is about the bestsellers. Email 3 is about the brand story. Email 4 is kind of that last chance discount is expiring. And then email 5 is the benefits of shopping with that brand in particular. So you're kind of solving objections that aren't money related. And then email 6 through 8 are going to be evergreen campaigns. So you basically go through your campaigns that don't include any sort of seasonal promotion or discount, and you plug them in here and see if they can make some sales at the very tail end of your welcome series. So a couple tactics here that we see these mistakes all the time. So I definitely don't want you doing them. Number 1 is not using generic coupon codes. So we don't recommend using generic coupon codes. For example, here, welcome 20. It's very basic, and people are going to realize that they have no urgency or scarcity in using that coupon code. So instead, what we do is we create static codes that look like they're dynamic, i.e. welcome 20 dash a bunch of random letters and numbers. That's a static code. So it looks like it's dynamic, looks like it's customized to the recipient. However, it's not. And it at least looks like the coupon expires, and you can use legitimate urgency or scarcity. Resend email number 1 to non-openers. The first email in your welcome flow is absolutely important. If you're going to optimize one thing, it would be this and the pop-up, because that's the first kind of intro to the brand, and so many people are going to run through there and see it. That way, so what you do is you resend email number 1. So you set up this conditional split here. So you can see first here, email number 1, welcome series, that's sent as soon as someone signs up for the list. And then you wait a day, and then you set up this conditional split where it looks at if someone actually opened that email. So if they have not, then they get resent the email. It's the same exact welcome email number 1, just with a new subject line and preview text that's a lot more catchier and kind of punchier and really kind of entices the open. That way you just get a few more people, a couple percentage points, maybe 5 to 15% more people getting that first welcome series email. Another strategy here is sending a plain text email first, and then 20 minutes later sending kind of the official designed welcome email here. So here's an example of what you would send immediately as after someone signs up for the list. And then again, 20 minutes later, you would send the kind of the official designed email. This is kind of the structure here. It's plain text. It asks a question, what's your burning question about this product? And then it tells you to move this email to the primary inbox. And then it has the discount code at the bottom here. So very unique, really stands out in the inbox, gets great deliverability, all that good stuff. Abandonment email. So you're going to have 4 of these: site, browse, cart, and checkout abandonment. So of course, these are going to be triggered when someone abandons at a certain stage here and doesn't move on. So a couple strategies that apply to all the abandonment flows. Number one, you want to have a discount for first-time buyers if you're able to give one. Generally, we want to give email incentives on email 2 or 3 within the series, not the first email, just because you want to save your margins and people just might need kind of a kick in the right direction to get them over the line. Number 2, you really want to look at your checkout abandonment rate. So this is a very important metric. Average is 60 to 80% of your checkouts are abandoned. So if you're on the lower end of the spectrum, if only 60% of your checkouts are abandoned, you're doing great. That means things are going well. If it's on the higher end, 80% and above, that means you need some work and you really need to work on these flows and figure out how can we solve objections and things like that. Kind of quick tip here, auto apply discounts within your links. So what we do is always within Shopify or whatever CMS you're using, you can get a shareable link when you create a discount. So all that is, it's just a link that auto applies the discount when someone clicks on that within the email. So you want to use these. And then solving objections, like I was talking about earlier, you want to think, why do people not check out? Like, what are the objections that they're coming up with? So big thing in price, of course, people just want to see what the total cost is before making a purchase. That's why we all add things to the cart. So of course, that's going to be, somewhat of an objection. We aim to solve that with a discount. But if that's not the issue, it could be the checkout process. You want to make sure that's seamless. You want to make sure they don't have to create an account and jump through a bunch of extra hurdles. Another thing might be shipping costs and delivery time. Social proof. People might be thinking, will this product specifically work for me? And then overall, they just don't trust the brand and the products. So to kind of combat this, there's a lot you can do. One pro tip is to use a table like this. It's kind of an us versus them angle to really handle objections. Here's an example of what that looks like. And then another tip here, be clever within your copy. I get so many abandonment emails because I'm doing a lot with D2C brands, and a lot of them are just very generic. So I included a few examples here of brands that really went above and beyond and really stand out within the inbox. So here's example number 1. And then as you can see, example number 2, you really just want to go, be creative, think outside the box with your copy. All right, converting buyers into VIPs, last section here. Email campaigns, you want to send the right volume. So aim for 30 to 40% open rates. You can adjust who you're sending it to always hit this number no matter what. You want to send more volume to higher engagers and less volume to lower engagers. So, if you're sending your biggest promotions, you can hit pretty much the entire list. And then people in the middle can get kind of a medium volume of emails. That way, your VIPs are getting the most emails and they're loving your products and they're highly engaging. And people who don't care about as much about your brand, they're not going to get all these different emails. Sending to the right segments, especially with bigger lists. You want to segment by purchase history, zero-party data, and all these other ways. So definitely make sure you're sending to the right segments. Content topics. Biggest thing that I think about is, would I share this email with a friend? Does it actually provide value? Is it some sort of checklist or how-to guide or blog post summary or something like that where I would actually send it to a person rather than just sales all the time? So don't be afraid to think outside the box. We always, with our agency, we always like to plan things out ahead of time. We're typically 1 to 2 months planned out in advance. So we really like to start with the content calendar and really ideate, all these different kind of creative ideas and kind of just create micro topics. So look at if you have blog posts or if you have different angles of different products, just think outside the box and think about what would I actually want to see within my inbox and what would I share with a friend. Next up, split testing major variables. Here's an example of us testing out the structure of the emails, offers, and other needle moving activities. So we always like to record, and we literally have an Airtable base in here so that we can record every single type of split test that we're doing for each client. So we can see that, and we can see a split test that we did 6 months ago and remember and essentially not get that scar twice. We want to make sure that if we figured out if something worked in the past, then we continue to do that. And we can always have that historical data rather than just trying to remember it. Data-driven analysis and iteration. So at the end of each week and month, we want to look and do a deep dive on what worked and what didn't. So we can essentially, same thing with a split test here, double down on what is working. And then having a proper sales structure, very important. So we want to make sure that people actually have to sign up to the SMS list for early access. So you can see that in the structure I'll get to in a second. You want to have overall a nice cadence to your emails so people aren't getting a ton of emails on one day and none the next. So nice blend of email and SMS. Keep things short and sweet. We only like to do about 4 days on average for our sales. And as you go throughout the sale, day 4 is going to have the most scarcity and urgency, and day 1 and 1 and 2 are going to have the least. And you want to exclude purchasers on your follow-up email so people aren't getting hit after they make a purchase. You want to make sure you're not continually hitting them with promotions. So the 4-day sales structure, basically day 1 in the morning is going to be an email. In the afternoon is going to be an SMS. Morning email on day 2. Day 3 is going to be another email. And then day 4, morning email, evening SMS. And as you can see here, day 1 is kind of that sale starts tomorrow. And then 5 p.m., we do an SMS, which talks about early access for the sale. And that's where the first mention of the coupon code goes. And that's only for people who sign up to the SMS list. So there's a legitimate reason for people to sign up to SMS because they get early access. And then day 2, everyone else, that's where they get the coupon code to start the sale. Day 3 is kind of that last 24 hours. Sale ends tomorrow. And then day 4 in the morning, they get an email. Sale ends tonight, and you add the coupon code there, of course. And then the very last message ever is the SMS at the end. So that's going to be 5 p.m. local time to just the engaged SMS list. SMS campaigns, speaking of those, you want to make sure to look at the ROI and make sure you're actually getting a return on your investment, or else the bill for SMS is going to get very expensive. To reduce that cost, we like to not send any pictures, so no MMS, typically because it's 3 times more expensive and it doesn't convert 3 times better from our experience. We're almost exclusively sending SMS to the engaged segment and not the entire list, again, to reduce costs there and get the maximum ROI. As we see so many brands that they're just not making enough to justify SMS. They're sending to the entire list, they're sending pictures and things like that, which they look nice, but they're not actually getting return. They're losing money on it. And then 1 to 2 SMS per sale is kind of like we said with the structure here. That's generally what we go for. Maybe 1 SMS, we might just get rid of the first one. And then overall, we have about 4 SMS sends per month as our max. All right, diving into post-purchase flows. So we've gone through, assuming the person has gone through the welcome and the abandonment flows, and they've made a purchase, so they get hit with the post-purchase customer thank you flow, which includes upselling, cross-selling, and product review requests. And then the rest of the post-purchase flows will cover these, which include the VIP flow, replenishment flow, win-back flow, and birthday gift flow. So the structure of the customer thank you flow, basically someone places an order and then 30 minutes later, they're going to get a thank you, an immediate upsell and discount. And you got to remember, as soon as they make a purchase, they'll get the shipping notifications and things like that. So that's why we wait 30 minutes and we send them a thank you email. This is where the post-purchase upsell is going to happen. And we want to split between first, second-time buyers and zero-time buyers. And then we're going to wait a day and get email 2. And that's where we're going to send more information. What can I expect from my order, FAQs, instructions for using the product, and things like that. And then for first-time buyers, it's going to be a reminder to use the discount. So for first-time buyers, it's going to be split between first and second-time buyers up here. So for first-time buyers, it's going to be a reminder to use the discounts. And only the first-time buyers are going to be the one that they actually get the discount. Second time and third time and everyone else are not going to get a discount post-purchase. So then you're going to wait 2 days. Email 3 is kind of the wildcard email, whatever you want to promote here. Generally, it's going to be a social media or a rewards program or collecting birthday information for the birthday flow or the SMS list or some sort of combination of these. And then you're going to want to wait a certain amount of days. So that's just based on your average shipping time. You want to make for sure that the item actually arrives somewhere within this period. And then email 4 is going to be a review request. So obviously you don't want to send your review request if they haven't had enough time to check out the product. Day 2, 2 days wait. And then email 5 is going to be that post-purchase cross-sell. So that right there is the structure of the customer thank you, that post-purchase flow. And then there's a few other post-purchase flows that are absolutely essential to have when you're trying to maximize your email marketing revenue and make millions from it. One is your VIP flow. So basically that's as soon as someone gets added to the VIP list segment because they made a certain number of purchases or something similar. That's what that is going to be. It's going to tell them about the exclusive deals and rewards and kind of moves them into that VIP status. Replenishment reminder flow, that's going to be reminding customers to repurchase items that are replenishable. You can actually look at the data and see like when specifically do people typically replenish their products, and you can send a reminder email a little bit before so that they can, once they're about to run out of a certain product, they can have it stocked up. Win back flow, basically this is for inactive customers. You want to entice them with a really great offer. Typically this offer is the best that you can give because basically this person's on the edge. They're about to leave your brand and they haven't ordered or engaged in a while. So you want to give them a great kind of Hail Mary offer. And then the birthday flow is just a fun extra one. If you collect that birthday information, you can give people special offers, build a relationship, can send an email on their half birthday and or their full birthday, and you can kind of just incentivize purchases with some sort of discount or offer at that point. Awesome. So if you're running a D2C e-commerce brand doing 6 or 7 figures per month and you want to add 50 to 200K to your monthly revenue in the next 90 days, or we give you a refund, definitely speak with us if you're interested. 2 options here. Check out zhs-ecom.com and book a call, or send me an email at zach@zhs-ecom.com for more information. Appreciate you checking out the video.